Sorry everyone. Hello, Meg Smith, the hypnotic dietitian here. Just trying to get things happening with the two lives. I might have to hold my phone for Instagram. That's very close, isn't it? Thanks for joining. Happy Friday. If you're in Melbourne, how is this weather? It's amazing today. Hopefully it stays like this for the next couple of weeks. I wonder if I can pop that there. Oh, that works, doesn't it? Might just check on Instagram. It might start sliding slowly. Alright, so I could do that too, couldn't I? Two things today. I wanted to make a little announcement about Gut Health Recovery Group. And then the second thing was all about forgetting to eat, which for some people might seem like a helpful thing, but realistically it will put you back. So I want to talk a little bit about that too. Hopefully it must be my I'm just gonna have to hold this, sorry everyone, which might be a little bit distracting, but just let me know. So announcement today is, as you might have noticed, Gut Health Recovery Group, which is on Facebook for those people on Instagram, and come over and join us if you can, has kind of morphed into more of people who, was I muted then? I hope I haven't been muted that whole time on on Facebook. Alright, I've just realised it, so apologies everyone if I have been on mute. Gut Health Recovery Group has morphed over the, I think it's 12, 18 months that I've been running it, into more of ask me all your dietitian nutrition questions, and sometimes they'll be about gut health, sometimes they'll be about general health, sometimes it's about weight management, sometimes it's about hypnotherapy. So I have decided today to change the name of the group to Mind the Gut, which hopefully covers gut health stuff, but also the mind stuff, and then also general health and nutrition. Hopefully, if you've got any, the reason I'm doing this is because whenever I'm getting questions, they tend to be general, and then there's only the odd gut-based question. So let me know what you think. If you'd like more content around purely for, specific gut problems, let me know. If you would like more content around just general gut health and how that will affect your overall general health, which tends to be how we're running it at the moment, let me know also. And if you would like other content around weight management and what you can do to create your healthiest version of yourself, let me know that too, and I will endeavour to make that happen for you, because this is why I'm running the group, for all of you. Alright, so let me know what you think, or if you think you've got a better name, let me know that too. I tend to have little mini downloads about these things and about business, and this one hit me this morning. I've been thinking about it for a while, but this particular name hit me this morning, so let me know what you think. I'll just check the comments here. Cool. Now, question around timing of eating and forgetting to eat. When's the best time to eat? There's so much information out there about fasting and intermittent fasting, and then there's also other information about eating 3 meals a day, or making sure that you're only having 6 small meals a day. So what I thought I would go over today is the reason why skipping meals can be non-beneficial, the evidence on what is fasting, and then the most optimal times to eat. So I did quite a bit of research around this last year across all the different forums that seem to be out there, and a lot of the different clinical evidence about intermittent fasting. From what I can find, and collating all the information, fasting can help in different ways. one of the main reasons, if you're doing it for weight management, is because if you tend to be fasting, then it gives you only a window of 5, 6, 7, 8 hours where you can eat. And if you're busy during those hours, then often you'll eat less. And if you're eating less overall, then on a weekly basis you're consuming less calories, less kilojoules, which means your overall intake is going to be lower. So a lot of the evidence showed that whether you have those calories across a 5, 6, 7, 8 hour window, or if you have those calories across, from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m, it didn't make too much of a difference. There was, and I'm sure some of you have seen the Michael Mosley, or read the Michael Mosley books. He talks about it as start fasting for your organs. So, and more so from a perspective of chemical changes internally and hormonal changes internally. The evidence is still not 100% clear on that. If anybody, this is from what I have found, so if anybody has found any different, please let me know. I would really welcome to read some of that that clinical evidence. There is a school of thought that you can help things like diabetes if you fast. From what I have found, oh gosh, where did that just go? Am I still on Facebook? Yep, still there. From what I have found, I'm just going to check the comments there. It really depends on the individual. So sometimes when you fast for longer than 15 or 16 hours, if you have diabetes, your blood sugar can actually go up because you hit starvation mode, and your body tries to make you glucose from what's stored in your liver. So you actually then don't have the, control over how much glucose is being released into your blood, because it's not coming from what you're eating, it's coming from what's stored internally. That is it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it makes it hard to manage blood sugars if you've already got a blood sugar issue. If you wanted to do that, I would strongly suggest talking to your endocrinologist, dietitian or doctor, and getting their opinion on your specific situation first. The next thing, and this is probably more around what the question was asking, is what happens if you forget to eat, or how do you stop forgetting to eat? What I find is if people say, I eat really well, but during the day I don't eat a lot during the day, and then it gets to the night time and I have dinner, and then after dinner I just have to have something else to eat. I have to have something sweet, or I have to have something salty, whatever it might be. And what I've found over the years is that if people start introducing foods earlier in the day, they're actually nourishing their body, and by the time they get to the night time, they don't need that extra food after dinner. So when people's idea of I'm really good, which has its own connotations anyway, often they'll say, I don't eat breakfast, I just have a salad for lunch, and then by the time I get to dinner I can't help myself, I have to keep eating, or I have something really small and then I'm still really hungry later on. So they're essentially restricting themselves and then playing catch up after dinner, because by the time you get to dinner and you've started relaxing or resting, your body goes, oh, they're eating now, we get a chance to refill. Tell it we want whatever we can find. Anything just to get ready for tomorrow, because we know that we won't get a good amount of food until the end of the day tomorrow. So combating that, what I recommend is, and to try, there's definitely no one-size-fits-all approach for anyone, but what I generally recommend is trying to have something to eat within half an hour of getting up, and that is to start your metabolism and to give you some glucose in your brain for energy. And also, if you're wanting to exercise, you really need to be starting to try and, you need to fuel your muscles so that you don't draw on your muscle stores for energy if you start exercising. In saying that, you don't necessarily have to eat if you want to exercise straight away in the morning. You could eat straight after that. That's sort of a personal preference, and will have more to do with how your stomach feels around exercising and eating. But general rule for general healthy eating, and even weight loss, I would always trial somebody trying to start eating within half an hour of getting up, and then see how you feel from there. So depending on the person, I would then say try and have a mid-morning snack and then have lunch. See what you feel like after lunch. If you need something in that mid-afternoon time, then you could try something then. But then by the time you get to dinner, if you've managed to have some veggies, some protein and some carbs up until lunchtime, by the time you get to dinner, you're just filling in the gaps with what's left in terms of nutrition for that day. So you'll be looking for veggies and protein again at dinner just to make up what you've had earlier, make up the difference from what you've eaten earlier in the day to get all of your nutritional needs. That is, and then what I find from there is people feel more satisfied by the time they get to dinner, and then after dinner they're less likely to crave things because they are feeling like they are satisfied, they've had enough. I'd love to know if you've tried this and if it's worked, or if you've always thought that eating less is better. The problem with eating less and skipping meals is that you are telling your body that it's not worthy of eating at that point. It's not allowed to eat, and you're not allowed to give it nutrition at that point because you're there for fear of whatever it might be, which puts you in a scarcity mindset. And when we're in scarcity mindsets, we tend to want to hold on to everything. So our body is similar. It will tend to want to hold on to whatever you put in then. And if by the time you get to, you know, just after lunch and you think, oh, I'm over it now, I can't be bothered eating, I'll just have whatever I can find. And if that's something carb-based or sugary or high in fat or high in salt, your body goes, great, that gives us a quick hit of energy, let's hold on to that because we don't know when the next part's coming. And so you actually teach your body to be really frugal and live on a budget. And when we live on a budget, what we think about is when we can spend next or when we can splurge next. So we're trying to create, you know, bring things in all the time, whereas what we want to do is turn things over more frequently. I hope this lands for all of you, particularly people who have asked the question. Even if it means, when we say starting to have something to eat early in the morning, even if it means it's just a piece of fruit to begin with, or a handful of nuts, or a glass of milk, just something to get your body moving, or get your metabolism going. And then often people say, oh, but if I eat breakfast, then I'm hungrier sooner. And that's okay. You're allowed to be hungry. We're meant to fuel our bodies. We're meant to be able to give our body nutrition. Nobody wants to lose anything. Why would anyone want to lose anything? So weight loss is very hard to achieve if you are under eating and then overeating later, because you're teaching your body it's a all or nothing sort of principle, and it's very hard for your body to keep up. So trying to eat first thing in the morning and then having something at that mid-morning time, and then having a really nutritious lunch, which I've spoken about in another video, that contains definitely vegetables, definitely protein, and some carbs, good whole grain carbs as well. And if you do that, and you've done this by 1 or 2 o'clock, then by the time you get to dinner, you're less likely to overeat, and you're less likely to crave those extra carbs and sugars and fats and salts. I hope this helps, and I hope you're enjoying your Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Please let me know what you think about the group name, and what your thoughts are. If this is challenging, let me know. I've had people say to me often, it's actually quite scary to think about eating more. Let me know. Be happy to chat more, happy to do another video on that, or even potentially a bit of a live Zoom where people can ask questions directly to me about this sort of stuff. Thanks for watching. Bye.